Hello and welcome to December's Wellness Moment on Healthy Holidays. Today we're going to be talking about barriers and challenges of the holiday season and strategies for you to maintain your weight, improve your food, increase your fitness and movement, and reduce your stress. Our goal for today is that you would be able to walk away with 3 healthy living barriers or challenges you encounter through the holiday season and 3 strategies to use during the holidays to maintain your weight and well-being. In addition, we'd like you to walk away with 3 specific action steps you're going to try this holiday season in order to help maintain your weight and well-being. So to just get started, let's talk about some barriers and challenges specific for the holiday season. Some barriers and challenges include food and drink cues. This can be kind of complicated by social media where you're distracted and it can be easier to munch when you're distracted, including also mass advertising on social medias, TV, radio, billboards, commercials that advertising shows food and you want to eat from seeing the food and looking at the food. It could be food smells, going to the mall when you're shopping for the holidays and seeing all of the food places and smelling that. Visiting family members when typically in the holiday season there's a lot of food around. Seeing some of your favorite recipes or having some of your favorite recipes where it can be really tempting to eat a lot more than you know you should. And your workplace environment. A lot of times during the holiday season, there's a lot more treats and sweets around just to be more tempting during the holiday season. Emotional eating can be a big one during the holiday season as well. There's stress from preparation for the food, stress from preparation of the holiday events and gatherings, excitement from having family and visitors, family friend engagements, parties, having that busyness and being more busy with all of those engagements, loneliness, emotional depression. Maybe the holidays are a difficult time for you because you've lost someone. Maybe there's other reasons that the holidays just tend to be more difficult for you. And then financial issues. Sometimes it's a little bit tougher just financially trying to get presents for people, but having a difficult time trying to manage those finances. So what should you do? Well, we're going to be going through what you can do. And as we go through this list, create a custom holiday plan for yourself. We're going to be going over a lot of different strategies and then choose an action step that's going to work for you. Prepare for those events, prepare for those difficult times where you're having a hard time, and then execute. So managing weight and maintaining your weight. We have our Maintain No Gain challenge going on, and the reason it's Maintain No Gain is because often it's harder to maintain your weight during the holiday season, let alone try to lose weight. But recognizing those food challenges is a big strategy in and of itself. If you know where you're having a greater tendency for a downfall, then that's the first step to be able to help with managing your weight and maintaining it. Time management and meal preparation, those are big ones. I find that the things that are often the most difficult for people when they're managing their weight is when they have to time manage and try to find time to meal prep and also find time to fit in exercise. So that time management is a huge piece. And then what are things that you can do at the table, special events? How can you manage leftovers or gifts, especially if somebody's giving you food as a gift? We're going to be talking about fitness strategies, focusing on movement, and then stress management strategies, mindfulness and relaxation, and sleep health. So food strategies. The holidays are a high-risk time for people with food. And so important things, find somebody to help hold you accountable, buddy up, write down what your goals are, and set realistic goals. Even write down what your bigger temptations are, where you struggle most, so you can come up with strategies to face those times. But make sure that you're setting realistic goals and things that you can actually accomplish. One way that you could do this, take the emphasis off food. Emphasize social interaction. Emphasize being with people versus the actual food. A lot of times it's easy for the holidays to center around meals versus centering around the people. And so emphasizing those social interactions, having group activities, maybe finding ways that you can be active as a group. So sports and games, going for walks, having new traditions. Maybe it's a family flag football. Maybe you're going sledding. Maybe it's some other kind of hike in the park or something like that, where you're able to move as a family or move as a group. So try to emphasize those social interactions, those family building. Maybe it's even playing games or putting a puzzle together in the house. So it's something that's not centered around food. Nutritional strategies, trying to cut back on sugar and salt, especially in recipes. So finding healthy food swaps and those recipes to help with managing some of those extra calories and extra sodium. Plan for moderation. Try to plan out your meals so that you have a little bit of each thing, but you're also making sure you're getting your vegetables, your protein, and then some of your carbs and starches in as well. Keep it lighter. Try to have healthier foods on hand and keep tempting foods out of sight or those are out of the house. A lot of times if you're eating for reasons other than actual hunger, it's often those tempting foods, those foods you want to snack on or munch on, that are going to be the ones that you tend to gravitate towards more versus like your carrots or celery. Create realistic plans. So time management and meal planning. Write out monthly, weekly, or daily schedules to plan for your events. If you know you have something coming up that you're going somewhere, plan out what you're going to take. But then also if you know you have like a soccer game or some kind of basketball game you have to go to, try to plan out, all right, this is a meal where we're going to have leftovers, or we're going to have to grab something on the way. But then not only that, try to plan out what you're going to grab on the way so that you can make healthier decisions. Because if you wait until you're hungry, you're more likely to not make as great of a decision. And then for your actual holidays meals, distribute the work. Plan potlucks so that you're not the one cooking all the food. Maybe appoint a cleaning crew. Even if you enjoy cleaning, a lot of times the cleanup or the actual cooking itself can even still get overwhelming. So trying to take some of that load off yourself and have it distributed more evenly. So when you're actually at the table, try to have a low-calorie snack before the meal so that you're not starving before you even start eating. Try to use small plates and remove your plate immediately too. Smaller plates will help with portion sizes, and if you remove the plate sooner, that's going to help keep you from having to go back and get seconds or feeling like you want seconds. And if your plate is gone, then you know you can help limit yourself. Limit yourself to one serving. Try to make sure that you portion things out on your plate. Practice mindful eating. Savor each bite and put the fork down between each bite. And do the push away. The push away is when you push your plate away from yourself, and this helps as a signifying, I am done eating. Food strategies for special events. Fill up on your vegetables. Make sure you eat before you go. If you're starving when you're eating, you're more likely to eat food that's not the greatest for you. And also, you're more likely to eat more than you probably should. Try to choose 2 to 3 special foods and leave the rest. So if there's 2 to 3 things that you want, try to eat those and leave the rest, because especially if it's something that you don't particularly really want. And then make sure you eat slowly to savor that food. And then the buffet table does not need a guard. A lot of times people hover around the buffet table and kind of graze and see what's there and try to see what other foods are coming out. So avoid the buffet table. The less food you have to look at, the less tempted you will be to eat more. And increase your activity. As soon as you're done eating, try to get up and move, and that'll help with your blood sugar levels as well. And bring a dish that fits your strategy. So trying to bring healthier foods to the event so that you have something healthy to munch on as well. Leftovers, trying to add sugar-free gum so you have something to munch on, especially if other people are eating and you feel like you still want to munch on something. Ask others to help clear dishes and clean dishes so that, if their plates are off the table, it's less tempting to try to want to grab something. Have take-home packages for guests so that you're not the one left with all the leftovers. Try to have little containers that you can send some stuff home with them so that you can divide the leftovers into smaller portions, and each person's kind of getting a smaller portion, but not too much either. And then cook less food. A lot of times it's easy to want to cook for an army at these events, and you want to make sure you have plenty of food, but We don't need to have an army, and it's okay if you run out of specific foods because that means less leftovers for you. And there's always the people who bring food for gifts or try to give you gifts of food for the holiday season. So try to ask to not receive any food gifts, or if they insist on giving you food, maybe ask for healthier options like a fruit basket or veggie tray or something like that, that it's going to be a healthier option. Or you could give the gift away, or eat a small bit of it, but share the rest. Make sure that you're sharing with maybe your neighbors or your friends. And so each person's getting a little bit versus having a whole bunch for one person. Fitness strategies. Focus on movement. Movement is one of the most effective strategies for weight maintenance. It helps reduce blood pressure, decreases blood glucose, which is your risk for diabetes, decreases depression, reduces stress, and it renews your enthusiasm. It also helps release endorphins that help with regulating your mood as well. And there's a ton of other benefits for exercise. So, different goals that you could set: walking for 10 to 15 minutes after eating to promote digestion. And this specifically will also help regulate your blood sugar levels more. Dusting off that old stationary bike or treadmill, especially as the weather gets colder around here. Finding exercise videos online, or if you belong to the Y, they now have an app called the YMCA 360 that you can do exercise videos at home. Walk for 30 minutes or go for 4 to 6 times per week. Maybe it's not every day. Maybe you're doing it 2 to 3 times per week if you haven't been walking at all. Or make a steps challenge with your family where you're competing with your family to see who can get the most steps over the holiday season. If you are starting a new exercise routine, just check in with your doctor to see if there's anything you need to be aware of or take precautions for when you start exercising. Holiday travel, make sure you get a plan so prior to your arrival. Pack layers of clothing so that you have clothes if it's cold outside, and take hiking shoes so you can go walk with your family and friends. Pack active clothes to work out in or walk or play. Don't just pack nicer clothes. Stress management strategies. The holidays can be a really stressful time. Positive thinking is super important just to help with regulating some of those negative thoughts too and halting those negative thoughts. Try to avoid absolutes or exaggerations. A lot of times we can take our thoughts to the extreme point where that's really not going to happen. Versus like a lot of times things are in the middle ground. It's pretty easy to jump to extremes. Look for positives. Don't bully yourself. Encourage yourself. Let go of the guilt. Let go of any kind of drama or family events that kind of come up. It's easy to kind of dread family drama before it even happens and anticipate things before they even happen. So try to let that go and don't anticipate. Just wait for it to happen, and when it happens, you can deal with it, but it may not be as bad as you think. And focus on what's possible. Focus on what you can change and what you can do something about. So 5 other tips to help with managing stress. Take a break from the stressor. Walk away. If it's a stressor that's present in the house, or maybe it's preparation, maybe going for a walk or going to do something relaxing for a bit. Making sure you get that exercise in. Smiling and laughing. Laughing does a great deal to help with managing stress. Getting social support and meditation. Mindful eating. So mindful eating is really helpful as far as managing weight, but also with stress. Beginning a shopping list and having that shopping list when you go to the grocery store. When you have an appetite, being willing to let yourself eat something, but also trying not to go to the grocery store when you're hungry, or not wait until you're super hungry to try to eat so that you're not overeating. And start with small changes. Start with small things that you can do. Maybe it's as simple as adding a vegetable or a fruit to your meals if you haven't been having that. Appreciate your food. Appreciate the taste of it and the work that went into preparing it and how much it takes to put that meal together. And bring all of your senses to the meal. The taste, the smell, the feel of the food when you chew it. And take small bites and chew thoroughly so that you enjoy your food. And this is super helpful with how you process the food. How are you eating it? How does it taste? How does it smell? How does it look? The more you get your senses engaged, the more focused you can be on eating, and it tends to be less that you need to satisfy you. You don't need as much food to satisfy you, and the taste is stronger and more enjoyable. And eat slowly. Stress management for sleep health. Healthy sleep is more than just the total number of hours of sleep. It's how well are you sleeping during the night. Lack of sleep has health impacts as well. And if you're wondering if you're getting enough sleep, including quality, things to kind of ask yourself, do you have trouble getting up in the morning? Do you have trouble focusing during the day? Do you doze off during the day? If you answered yes to any of these questions, or maybe all three, you need to work on improving your sleep. Some health effects of not getting enough sleep include difficulty thinking clearly, slow reaction times, which can be very dangerous even with driving, trouble forming memories, more likely to get into accidents, irritability, problems with relationships, depression, anxiety. Sleep deprivation can also affect your physical health. Not getting enough sleep or getting poor quality of sleep increases your risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, obesity, so weight management as well, and type 2 diabetes. So how can you get better sleep? Well, step 1, make sure you allow yourself enough time to sleep. If you're getting enough sleep each night, you may find you're happier and more productive during the day. Also practice good sleep hygiene. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Avoid caffeine, especially in the afternoon and evening. Avoid nicotine. Exercise regularly, but not too late in the day. Avoid alcoholic drinks before bed. Avoid large meals and beverages at night. Don't take a nap after 3 p.m. Relax before bed. Keep the temperature in your bedroom cool. Get rid of distractions such as noises, bright lights, or a TV, computer in the bedroom. And don't be tempted to go on your phone or tablet just before bed. The blue light that's emitted from those screens can actually interfere with melatonin production, which helps you sleep. Get enough sunlight exposure during the day. And then if you're lying awake in bed for at least 20 minutes or more, try to get up and do something relaxing. If you're still having issues sleeping, you might have a sleep disorder such as insomnia or sleep apnea. Your doctor may try an over-the-counter prescription or a sleep aid, but you also might need to do a sleep study to help diagnose the problem and figure out what's going on. It is good to talk to your doctor because, again, you can have an increased risk for diabetes, obesity, heart disease, which if it's just a matter of improving your sleep to help reduce those risk factors, then that's worth it. So just as a review, we've talked about food strategies, fitness strategies, and stress management strategies, including sleep, to help manage the holidays and maintaining your weight, stress, food, fitness, and your sleep. So it's important to recognize your food challenges, practice time management and meal preparation, practice strategies for at the table, and how you're going to handle leftovers and gifts of food. Focus on movement during the holidays, practice positive thinking, practice mindfulness and relaxation, mindfully eat, and get enough sleep. Here's the sources, and here's our location and hours of operation. As always, if you need to talk to a provider, please let us know and feel free to reach out. We are happy to help you any way we can. You can also email me at sarah.wiseman@eversidehealth.com. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out as well. Thanks and have a great day.